Good morning, afternoon, evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to the Dark Mom Consortium and the continuing adventures of Lieutenant Commander Daammo Tuly, my Delta recruit. The episode we're going to be dealing with today is The Vault, which is not my favorite episode, so I'm going to stall for a moment here and remind everyone about 2absentfriends.com. That's our charity website that we're working on to create a charity for Star Trek Online people to donate. To what, though? We don't know yet, and that's where we need your help. If you have a cause that you think deserves to get some money from us, give us their name. Go ahead to the website, 2absentfriends.com, take a nomination card, stick in the name that you want, and can't talk today. Remember to put in your in-game character handle so that we can send you a convention code. We have got so far 6 nominees. We've got room to take 80. We probably could take a few more than that, to be honest. Our current nominees are Make-A-Wish Foundation, Wounded Warrior, Child's Play, Epilepsy Foundation, Doctors Without Borders, and Save.org. And having just been out to lunch with some of our fellow players, I have a couple more I hope we'll be getting very shortly. Remember, if you give us a name, you get a prize. It's not the way you normally think it will work, but that's how it works here. All right, so we've got to do a little bit of work here with my not favorite mission. So the first thing we're going to do is see what we're doing with her skills. Remember, we were working on this the previous episode, and we've picked up 2 more space points and 1 more ground point. So we're going to add that to our skill tree here, and we'll add 1 more to our tactical. So targeting expertise, which is going to kind of come in handy with this episode. And there's a couple others we could do. Flow, impulse expertise, improved EPS flow, or improved targeting expertise, or improved defensive maneuvering. All good here, but I'm going to go with improved targeting expertise. And we're good on that one. On ground, because this doesn't have a lot of ground in it, like none. It doesn't really matter for this particular mission, so I think we're going to work on our kit performance, and that's going to come up really handy when we continue working our Kumarki set. Speaking of, we're going to be doing an episode that's featuring a new ground build that features the Kumarki set, presented by Rasul, or actually presented by me, but it's his build, so we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. I hope to have that out to everyone today. But let's deal with the inevitabilities of the dread Vault. So first thing we need to do is go to Starbase 39. And fortunately, it's going to let us transwarp directly from ESD. This is an older episode. So unlike some of them, and the newer ones, you don't wind up really close. We're going to have to maneuver in. Okay, that's going to work a lot better if the ship's actually moving. So the ship's not moving. And if you remember, remember what I was saying about things sometimes don't like to load in when you load in? It's really convenient to check that stuff out. I'm going to go with my plasma dual beams. Okay. Let's see if it likes us now. Oh, it likes us now, but it doesn't want to do impulse. Nope. So we're just going to have to slowly saunter in. Originally in the game, you weren't granted full impulse speed until you were a higher rank. That doesn't appear consistently in these older episodes. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't get it. And part of it also is we've got a current problem, so there it takes a little bit of time to load in. Be patient. But look at this, docking procedures. You're not going to see that show up in too many of the current missions. It's just understood. When you get close enough, you'll be able to beam in. Captain, we are in transporter range of Starbase 39. So on to our story. So this is Starbase 39. Again, older school. This pops up in a couple of missions. And here's Commander Kyle DeSoto.
In order to avoid drawing too much attention, you need to fly under the radar, so to speak. Admiral Tuly has authorized the requisition of a shuttlecraft for you. You can fulfill the requisition in the shipyard. Once you're ready, take the shuttlecraft out to the Hakona system. If you have a runabout fighter or other such craft available, feel free to use it, but do not approach the system in a starship. We want to avoid the notice of whoever's in the vault. A shuttle will also be able to dock with the vault and explore the interior.
Understood. Also, Republic Intelligence will be sending one of their best with you on this operation, Commander Talmara. She's been fully briefed and will transport to your vessel as soon as you are ready to depart for Hakona. I trust this won't be a problem, Lieutenant Commander. Not at all.
Any questions? Very well. Remember, you must use a shuttlecraft, runabout, fighter, or similar small operations craft to undertake this mission. We need on-site intel from the interior of the vault. Starfleet will not clear you to enter the Hakona system otherwise. Good luck.
Okay, we are going to be given a shuttle, but you can't. By the way, this is our one accolade in it. Just for talking to him, you get the size doesn't matter accolade. So don't skip talking to him.
Greetings. I'm very busy right now. Please contact me later.
Just checking out who's up here. And we'll go back down. If you've played the anniversary event where we have the Omegas, you will find some Omegas in space here as well as on the ground. And you'll find similar maps in a couple of the Borg ground missions where we have these kind of S-shaped corridors. Locations are posted above, so if you're not sure where you are, just look overhead. In addition, we've got some basic starbase functions here. Requisition officers. Requisition equipments, which means this is also someplace you can sell back equipment. Commodities brokers. So we're going to find the Shuttle Information Officer first. As I just discovered, you absolutely have to talk to this person first. I can provide information on shuttles and other small craft. Also, if you happen to lose your captain's yacht or commander's gig, let me know. I can provide you with the necessary information on shuttles in general, so feel free to ask whatever you wish. When you are ready to actually claim your shuttle, you will need to speak with a Ship and Shuttle Requisition Officer. Since I went through it really quickly there and didn't cover it, captain's yachts are available for veterans of 400 days or more, or lifers. I'm a lifer, but not on this account. So let's go over here to Ship and Shuttle Requisitions. Now, see where it says Lieutenant Commander? There's nothing that's going to pop up there. Hit all ranks. And now you've got some options. We can buy a Danube. That's going to cost a little EC, but it's not bad, 34,000. Type 8 shuttle comes with, it's freebie, you can see the pricing. A Tercel, again, not a bad price. A Kestrel. And then we start to get into some of the other ones. Captain's Yacht, not going to let me have it. Bummer. Commander's Gig, not going to let me have it. When you get to the point where you've got some available Zen, the Yellowstone Runabout is probably the coolest of the shuttles. Definitely my favorite. And I've never played with any of the others. We could get a Cmdr fighter. Ooh, I've never tried that one. Base turn is 31, device slots is 1, 4 weapons 2, nothing in the aft. Can equip dual cannons. And no limitations, you don't have to be a Cmdr. So let's take a really quick look at that one versus, let's say, the Type 8. Base turn is a little bit less, so this one's got more maneuverability if we go with the Cmdr. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Danube, you can see down here, numbers. Base turn is the same as with the Type 8. Since we've got the availability of the Cmdr fighter. It's still a freebie. Let's grab it. Well, that was a totally cool sound effect. Oops, wrong button there. So this is the cleverly named DV fighter. If you want to change your name for ship, all you have to do is come up here to the edit. Should we change the name of our ship? This will be the Daammo 1. Yeah. Why not? Devices. What are we going to use? Well, we have shield batteries. Engineering. This will boost our engine power or to boost our defenses. We're going to go with a little engine power. And we have 2 tactical consoles. The thing is, we have a phaser console, and this is a Polaron beam ship. Do we have a better phaser? Yeah, I'm still going to go with this one. And much as I like Polarons, I'm going to put in my Harpang. Yes, you can change out all of this equipment. Just remember, as soon as we get up there, make sure it's still equipped. Okay, everything's in place on the Daammo 1. Let's beam up. Please equip your ships, get all your weapons in place before you start the mission. You'll be much happier if you do it. Captain, we're in transporter range of Starbase 39. Lisa, we're leaving now, remember? Yes, ma'am. Let's make sure everything's still there. Everything's still there. And now we're going to go to the Hakona system. And everything's still in place. Yay! Beginning vault.
Obviously, this station isn't as abandoned as Intel suspected. Sensors are reading several Riemann ships in the area, and that's just the ones that we can spot. That station is immense. It must have taken an incredible amount of manpower and technology to build it. It's almost the size of a small moon. Sensors are reading a sophisticated tachyon detection network, as well as several patrolling vessels. For an abandoned station, this facility certainly has a lot of activity. My people are experts at stealth technology. If we want to approach unseen, we must avoid confrontation and find a way to evade or jam their sensor grid. We must assume that if we engage the ships here, they'll notify whoever is left on the station, and it may become difficult to find an entry point.
Void patrol vessels and evade sensor nets while approaching the vault. Consult with your officers for options. Okay, so we've got some light warbirds over here. So we've got a couple of options. We can examine the derelict ship, examine the subspace booster relay, examine asteroid near the navigational beacon. But first, let's go grab some Verteron particles. Also gives you a moment to play with the maneuverability of your ship. So we're heading for the southernmost point here. We've got an asteroid. Scanning the asteroid.
This asteroid is unusually large, and it's clearly been mined. It was probably used for raw construction materials, like most of the debris here. This particular asteroid contains pergium, titanium, and uranium. It was probably tractored from a nearby system and brought here to construct hull components and power systems. We could probably cut a piece from the asteroid with our weapons for further analysis. Looks like the fragment has picked up a bit of residual energy from our weapon burst. It'll be radiating energy for a while. Other than that, it's just a rock.
Engineering officers can gain additional information thanks to their knowledge of material science. If you'll remember, we're tactical, not engineering. So let's see what our other options are. Just so you know, there's a ship over us, but we're trying to stay out of their range. There's a derelict vessel right over here.
Indications are that this vessel was refitted for asteroid mining. Apparently, a containment failure in the engine core led to a massive radiation surge. The engine went into emergency shutdown, but all of the couplings and injectors were burned out. The crew probably died due to instant radiation burns. It looks like the vessel was stripped for parts and left derelict.
Science officers can gather data from the ship's computer, but we're not a science officer. There's the last one up here. Subspace booster relay. Oops. Subspace traffic analysis.
Looks like they left this satellite as a communications booster for their short-range worker shuttles. Fortunately for us, it's still active. Unfortunately, it's heavily encrypted. Traffic analysis shows that the network routes its communications through a series of nodes at the station's dorsal peaks. If we flood them with excessive signal, it could cause the network to be unable to handle any signal traffic, which would give us a brief window to slip in. The alerts wouldn't go off because the station would never get the signal. We'll still have to avoid the patrols and make sure we don't get too close to the station until we make the broadcast.
Approach the vault and use a packet storm to disrupt its sensor communications.
Remnants are all over this system. If we start a fight with one of the ships, we'll probably have to fight.
If you'd like a rundown of those three, it's right here in Consult with Talmera.
Approaching the tachyon grid perimeter. If we're detected by it, that will definitely alert. Station sensor hub jammed.
So we have a time limit to get in there. And no, there isn't a door.
Picking up some unusual energy readings. We'll need to explore the accessible interior areas and see what we can find. Looks like there's another access conduit across from us. We'll have to think three-dimensionally in here. Sensor readings are also picking up a few scattered life signs.
Search the vault interior for unusual readings and inhabitants. I want to blow up my mini-map so it's a little bit easier to see. We had a prompt to hail a shuttle, which went away before I could hit it. Let's see if that returns. By the way, there's an idea of how 3D this particular room is.
We've tripped some security systems. The doors are a massive set of interior bulkhead doors. They're segmenting the different parts of the base. Possibly a safety measure in case something went wrong in one of the central areas. Access appears to be controlled by use of security keys. We can disable it if we can find a code block that matches part of a security key. The security key is on a rotation. Each code block matches a piece of one key. Key in the appropriate code when the rotation matches to it. Trying a code on the wrong rotation will probably invalidate that code, so be careful with the timing.
Select the appropriate code block when it matches part of the cycling key. Oh, we don't have any keys yet.
This defense turret was hooked into part of the security network. There's a security code in its subsystem, code block 6750. Microgravity storage containers. Since this interior space has no artificial gravity, they're just left to float here. There's an assortment of construction materials and personal effects, including a personal access code key, 0668.
So there's something here, but exactly where? We'll have to fly around and find out. There we go.
The security node for this block of empty residences includes a code key, block 9904.
So we've got 3 sets. Let's go for the doorway. As I said, this one's absolutely beautiful map and massive.
The security key is on a rotation. Each code block matches a piece of one key. Key in the appropriate code when the rotation matches to it. Trying a code on the wrong rotation will probably invalidate that code. Unfortunate. The security key is on a rotation. Each code block matches a piece of one key. Key in the appropriate code when the rotation matches to it. Trying a code on the wrong rotation. That's it. Well done. We should be able to bypass the system and gain access now. Microgravity storage crates, mostly construction supplies. No weapons or unusual energy signatures. There's still power in most of the station. Some of these conduits are damaged. Keep an eye out for energy discharges. Above us, that's a Borg sphere. The Tal Shiar must have used this base as a storage facility and research area for Borg technology. The Borg sphere is dormant, like it's been put to sleep. It's not the source of the strange readings that long-range scans detected. Looks like the sphere's hooked into part of the local systems network. We should be able to exit through the other doors now. Probably a safety precaution to keep them locked.
Take a super short break here. One thing to bear in mind is that if you're using the mini-map to find your directions, it can be deceiving when you're in one of these huge maps. So remember to check your big map, that's letter M, and it'll give you a better overall perspective. For example, this one's pointing to the south, but at the moment, to get south to the last circle, we need to go to the east first.
Quiet in this area. Too quiet.
I'm picking up unusual energy readings from the other side of that pillar.
This is disturbing. We're looking at a facility used to build Thalaron weapons. If the Remans have infiltrated this base, they may be trying to secure those weapons.
So our intruder finally arrives at the heart of the matter. Have you seen all that you came to see, little spy?
Who are you?
Does it really matter? Call me Obisek, if a name is that important to you.
What are you doing here?
That should be obvious. I intend to make use of this station to further my agenda. Your presence, however, is a bit more curious. I expect that you're operating under the shroud of Empress Sela, whether you realize it or not.
I'm not an agent of Empress Sela.
Did you know Sela's mother was a human? And a Starfleet officer, no less. Given Starfleet's many attempts at interference with the Romulan Star Empire over the years, it is quite obvious that at least some elements of both organizations are cooperating. Either that, or possibly your Starfleet has been tricked into doing the Empress's bidding.
Starfleet is a peaceful organization of exploration, not a political tool.
Your protest will do you no good in any case. I expected interference, and I have taken steps to ensure that you will not disrupt my plans.
You must know that galactic powers will not permit you to use Thalaron weapons.
I'm not especially interested in what you will or will not permit. My only interest is proving a point to the Romulans. My people have been hounded across the stars. We have been separated from our loved ones and had our homes destroyed. Our ships have been attacked and our warriors slain by treachery. No more. We will take the fight to them, and we will be free. I am afraid our time is at an end. My associates have already finished loading the Thalaron weapons that we need, and I have other operations to manage. I think we both know what happens now. May your death be quick and valorous.
Reporting. Ship.
Fighting Scorpion fighters, they are as nimble and quick as you are. I realize this Cmdr fighter is only slightly more nimble than the other ones. But slightly more is slightly more. Let's see if we can get out of here. Full impulse. We're in a position where we're going to take some more fire, so you might want to pay attention to your shields. Especially your forward shields. Yes, I have a shield battery, I can use it. But I've only got one of them. New player. Or more accurately, new tune. might have also noticed that the Scorpion fighters disappear. They do have the option to shroud themselves. I.e. they can cloak. In this ship, we don't have that ability. Some do, especially Klingon ships. I'm shifting my shield by clicking on the shield indicator here, and it will redirect power from the other shields to that one while they rebuild.
Blast the door locks.
So notice my right shield is way down at the moment. It will rebuild if I have time, which I do. So we're finally into the last chamber. There's the doorway. And there's the light warbird right in front of us.
We must stop Obisek's ship. They cannot be allowed to possess Thalaron weapons. We can use the subspace booster satellite outside the station to send a message to Starfleet as soon as we're clear of the interior. But Obisek's warship will almost certainly attack us when we do. We'll have to survive long enough for reinforcements to arrive. Reinforcements have arrived and are just past that nebula. We don't have much time. We need to meet with our allies and stop that ship.
We're approaching a Mutara-class nebula. If we go deeper, visual will be obscured and shields will be useless.
But they want
We're
us
now
to
in the
take care of the
micronebula.
fighters and plasma torpedoes.
Okay, we've lost our shields. That's because we're in the nebula. That means they don't have shields either.
That was quite an explosion. Probably from the Thaleron weapons carried aboard the ship. We're going to leave the system under high warp to draw off any reinforcements that might come looking. Suggest you return to Federation space.
And departing the system. Need to go back to Starbase 39 to debrief with DeSoto. This is not going to give us the pop-up that makes it a little bit easier. Again, older missions have a little bit different story ability, so in this case we have to physically go meet with them. As you'll see as we get a little bit further, sometimes we have to go to a location to download things or into our ships, into the captain's quarters. Captain, we are in transporter range of Starbase 39. And back to where DeSoto is. Yes, that DeSoto, for those of you who are playing the new missions.
I've taken a preliminary look at your logs, and it seems that things went a bit unexpectedly. I have a feeling this isn't the last time we'll be seeing the Vault. The Riemann commander you encountered is definitely a major player in the disintegration of the Romulan Star Empire. I'm going to send the information you gathered about him over to an old colleague of mine, Dr. Maximilian Peters, for analysis. If this Riemann is a leader in their separatist movement, we'll have to deal with him again. And hopefully Dr. Peters can work up a psychological profile for him, and a sociological analysis of the separatists. Our next step will be to decode the signal intelligence and go through any remnants left from the ship that was destroyed near the Vault. Now that we know that the Riemanns were hoping to use Thaleron weapons, we need to figure out their target location. Right now, Starfleet knows far too little about a civil war, but it'll take time to sift through all of the data. Keep in touch. Starfleet will notify you when we have a lead. Oh, and thanks for the good work.
Excellent work. We need to learn more about the conflict between Obisek and the Romulans. Sila's forces may indeed be hounding the Riemanns, but the use of Thaleron weapons is unacceptable. Not even the Klingons or the Breen will stoop to such barbarism. Starfleet intelligence will be working to decode the list of possible targets you acquired from the base's databanks. The next step may be to investigate these sites and find out why the Riemanns want to destroy them.
Alright, got a lot of stuff, including some Scorpion fighters.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Commander.
Alright, so we've gotten a promotion up to level 18. We've gotten another skill. And we've picked up another episode. This one was all space. Mine enemy is a ground-based one.
I do not know. Obisek and his people have traveled a most difficult path. After so many years of oppression and Romulan treachery, it does not surprise me that they are suspicious of anyone. The Riemanns gained much in the years after the destruction of the Romulan homeworld, but Sila is more secure in her power now, and she may believe that she no longer needs the Riemanns as allies. If the Romulans seek to enslave the Riemanns again, there will be bloodshed.
I have new missions for you.
Right, so we're going to accept mine
Starfleet
enemy.
intelligence has decoded the list of Riemann targets that you recovered from the vault. I need you to investigate one of these locations and determine why Obisek and his forces planned an attack there. The Vahar system is still technically part of the Romulan Star Empire, but Ferengi speculators have moved in, and the Empress has done nothing to remove them. The Ferengi have reopened the mines and are now doing business with anyone with Latinum. You will go to the Vahar system under the pretense of negotiating a possible trade agreement with the Federation. Talk to Madron, the operator of the mines. Convince him to allow you access. Find out all you can. Once we know why Obisek and the Remans are targeting these mines, then we will be able to decide how to proceed.
We'll go ahead and accept this,
I have new missions for you.
but we won't deal with it today. Last and not least, let's jump into space. So the Scorpion fighters that we were fighting on our last mission have the ability to cloak and disappear. The only way that you know that they're there is they start firing at you, and targeting them, even with a very maneuverable ship, requires you to kind of turn around and look and see what's around you as quickly as possible and try to identify it. Or you can change your targeting abilities. So that was very interesting. So if you go into your options, you're going to get basic controller, audio, voice chat, display, graphics, advanced controls, keybinds, heads up display, and chat. In your heads up display, you can go ahead and change what's being targeted. So you can see what's targeted, what's always, things like that. And in my case, I've changed my keybinds so that my tab key always finds the next target. Let's see if I can find it here for you guys. There we go. So, target next enemy. You can either do this, it should be the default is tab. Previous enemy is shift tab. Next friend is control tab. I pretty much limit myself to doing tab because I can remember that when I'm running. So what will happen is rather than you having to hunt around quite so much, it will pull up the next one. However, you won't see it if you don't turn the ship to look at it, but at least it will be targeted. So you'll notice a couple of times that the Harpang torpedoes, like all of them, will arc over to where the next target is. You can use that to change where your perspective is by turning the ship camera. And the ship camera, for me, I use both mouse, left and right, and use it to position my camera. It's also going to direct my ship for me, so if you want to move your ship, you can fly it just by using your left and right mouse keys. It's very smooth. You get your ups, your downs, your left, your rights. You can also use W for down, S for up, A for left, D for right, or a combination thereof. If you need to go up, though, there is a limit to up. I mean, there's not a limit to up, but you'll notice that it's a very slow arc. If you want to make a tighter arc up, hit your S and your D key, or your S and your A key, and it will spiral up. And that'll keep you in a narrower arc for doing vertical and descending climbs. Would it be a climb if it's going downwards? Descents. We'll just call it descents then. If you just do a straight down, you'll see that it's a longer turn, and then you have to come back at some point. So think about spiraling up, spiraling down. But we kind of need to get back to Earth's space dock, so let's get out of here. And we want to go get our other ship back. So the vault's not the easiest mission. We did that one pretty smoothly this time. I'm really happy with that. You are limited in your weapons on a shuttle. I like the Harpang, but if I had an option and I had an Omni, which I'm a little too low level for having an Omni, and I'm not going in and tapping into all the resources I've got from other tunes. If I was going to go back as a higher ranked player, I would grab an omnidirectional beam and throw it in there. That would give me a 360 degree range, and I would also get something that's got a little bit more firepower. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. I hope you learned something out of that episode. It's a very challenging episode, first 3 times through. If you team up with fellow players, it can really help, because only one of you has to get out through that last enemy. We had a light Warbird today. I've actually gone against the heavy Mo guys, which is a challenge. I'm going to say I lucked out and didn't get that. Maybe they've changed the mission. Maybe it was just my luck. I'll take it. So we'll talk to you next time with the adventures of Lieutenant Daammo Tuly, and we'll add to her skill tree next time, and we'll have a new mission, Mine Enemy. Like I said, this one's a ground-based mission. Again, a little bit challenging, a lot of fun though. Take care, and we'll see you later.